Oh no, my car broke down and the repair costs are way higher than I expected. I need cash right now. I need cash. I can't also wait for payday. And borrowing money takes forever. What do I do? Wait a minute. I've been saving on the Achieve app. I should have some money there. Wow. My DigiSave investment on the Achieve app gained some additional interest. I love this app. With the Achieve app, I can instantly have access to my emergency savings anywhere, anytime. I've been saving little by little, and now I don't have to stress at all. Download the Achieve app today and start building your emergency fund. It's the smartest way to stay prepared for life surprises.
Hello. Welcome once again to another engaging webinar by Achieve by Petra. We're really excited for this one. As you already know, June is Men's Mental Wellness Month and also Father's Day as well. I know a lot of you celebrated your fathers a few days ago. And yes, we're excited for this particular webinar to have a conversation. I was talking with the speaker a few moments ago, and he said that men are stoic. Men are stoic. Anyway, he's going to talk to us more about it, and we're going to learn so much. If you are on this call, well, I want you to do something. Text a brother, text a colleague, tell them, hey, they're having a conversation about money, they're having a conversation about financial well-being and financial wellness, and you need to be here. So share the link with them and let's get started. Okay, so before I start, I'd like to just hit a little bit about, or tell you a little bit about the speaker. We have Mr. Amishadai Ofori. He is the co-founder of the Innovation Spark. Amishadai contributes to the tech and entrepreneurship ecosystem through his work with international development partners and enterprise support organizations. Beyond the boardroom, Amishadai is a devoted husband and a proud father. Driven by his faith, he actively engages in community through C3 Ignite and the Men in Marriage group, using his voice to empower the next generation of African visionaries. I'm sure the Men in Marriage group are represented on this webinar as well. Let's know if you're in the comment section. Tell us, you know, rep yourself in the comment section. Rep yourself in the comment section. Okay. Right. So before I bring Amisha out, I want to also find out, where are you joining in from? Where are you joining in from? We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. So tell us where you're streaming in from. Could be Yao from Kumasi, could be Kwesi from Nungwa. Just tell us where you're tuning in from. Would want to know and give you a shout out as well. Okay. The man of the moment, Mr. Mishadai Ofori. It's good to have you here.
Hey Joel, how are you? Good to have you.
Um, I'm doing awesome. I'm doing awesome. I'm doing awesome. I know in the build up to this webinar, we are both excited, to share a
Yeah.
little bit of, your experience or your insights that you've gathered throughout your years, right? As
Hmm.
an international development partner, or from your entrepreneurship journey, right?
Yeah.
How excited, just let the people know how excited you are to be sharing this knowledge.
I'll tell you how excited I was. I shared the link with my entire community, with the Men in Marriage group. Shared it with a couple of entrepreneurs as well, and yeah, I shared it with my family. So I guess I'm super excited, and I hope they
Amazing.
all joined.
Amazing, 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 amazing. The great thing about it is that this is going to be recorded, so it's on our platforms as well. So if you're watching this, if you're watching the replay, hey, I'm sure that is excited, to get you through this amazing webinar.
Sharp, sharp, sharp.
Okay, I'm sure that I have a question for the audience though. And I want to hear your answer first. So the question is, what's harder for you right now? Is it earning money? Is it managing money? Or is it growing money?
Oh, I'm currently at the stage where learning how to manage my money to grow it.
Mm,
So I'll choose the final option.
mm,
Yeah, to grow the money.
grow the
But I'm
money.
currently at that stage where I am managing the money.
Amazing, 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 amazing. That's amazing to hear. Guys, if you're also following us, let us know what is harder for you right now. Is it earning the money? Is it managing the money? Or is it growing the money? Okay,
Wow.
so let's dive right into today's question, today's conversation. Right. Should I? This one, if you recall, when it was trending on social media, where the president of the land, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, shared a picture of the flower bouquet that he received, juxtaposed to what his wife received during Mother's Day. You could see the stark difference. You could see the stark difference,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
between what the man got, or what he as a man got, and what his wife got as the first lady of the land. What, in our context, in this context where we are talking about financial wellness,
Mhm.
right? What does financial wellness actually mean to you as a man, beyond just making money?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, Joel. And I'll tell you a story. So
Mm,
this was like 2018, 2019. I was at that stage where I was trying to earn the money, right? In retrospect to your question, and in trying to earn the money, I was emceeing for weddings, if you can believe it. So typical
yeah.
Saturday weddings, go MC. And then, so one of the gentlemen I MC'd for was a financial advisor. And I said, hey, quid pro quo, I'll MC your wedding as a discount or for free. Just give me some financial advice. So
Mm,
after his wedding, we sat down and some of the questions he asked me, Joe, they hit me like a brick to my face. This was my first time ever talking to a financial advisor. And he was
mm,
asking me these hard questions like, how much do you earn now? How much do you want to earn in the next 5 years? And what do you want to achieve, for example, in
yeah.
the next 5 years? Based on what you want to achieve and how much you earn, do you think you can achieve it? Right? And the answer was no. And so the follow-up question was, okay, so what are you
Mm,
doing now to make sure that you can achieve what you want to do in 5 years? You either get a raise from your current work, or you find a new work, or you find additional sources of income. So
right.
it's just to let you know, just like the mindset or the mental frame of mind I was in at that time, and I would say at that time I was not in the frame of mind
Mm,
of good financial wellness. Right? We hear a lot about mental health and mental wellness. Now, I want
yes.
to juxtapose that, right? So, if you
Mm,
go to a typical like therapist or you're speaking to someone about your mental wellness, they
mm,
will ask you questions like, "What are your triggers?" Right? What are the things
mm,
that expose you to some of these things that put you in an unstable or mentally unwell place? And
yeah.
for you to confront these triggers and make adjustments so that you're in a better place. And I think it's very similar to financial wellness. What are the triggers? What are the things about your finances that make you afraid to talk about? What are the stark realities of your financial life that you're not willing to look at?
Mm,
And what are the adjustments you are going to make to shift you from point A to point B? Today's
yeah.
conversation, I want us to have a lot of use cases. So, as much as possible, I'll tell you
Yeah.
practically what I have gone through. But the first one for financial wellness was speaking to this financial advisor and realizing, bro, I'm not where I want to be, and I'm
Mm,
not making enough money to be where I want to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I like the way you spoke about the therapy sessions, right? If you have mental health issues or something wrong, mentally, you go and see a therapist. So if you're having
Yep.
financial health issues, you should go and see an advisor, right? Or
Yeah.
someone that knows more than you. That's an interesting
Exactly.
take. That's an interesting take. Right. So we know a lot about what causes, as you mentioned, triggers, right? What causes these triggers?
Hmm.
And for a number of men or breadwinners in general, because I know some of our ladies might be following us as well. How do you think that societal expectations of men as providers affects financial decisions and pressure? Because we have this notion that men
Mm.
have to be providers. You need to go
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
hunt. How do you think it affects men?
Okay, so I'll speak from the perspective of a man.
Mm, right.
Anyone else can chime in for the lady breadwinners. And as you know, I'm part of the Men in Marriage group. This is a Christian community for men who are in marriage just to encourage each other, build each other up, but also have these hard conversations. So one of the conversations we had, my friend Dax, Zimbabwe, great guy, older than I am, about a decade older, and all of us were complaining, like, ah man, the expectations on us are too much, like we can be both present and working. And one of the things that said I remember well was that he thinks that this generation of men are soft. He thinks that
Mm,
just by societal condition, but also conversations and chatter, right, about just like wellness and all these things are making men soft and entitled. And so
mm,
sometimes even the expectations on us that we must do, right? It's expected of us. We seem to think it should change, or it should be easier for us. And I'm bringing this in because I'm careful to
Yeah.
draw the line and draw a balance between what is expected of you as a man and what are some of the things that might be societal pressure. From my understanding, as a man, right, God placed back to the Garden of Eden, placed him in the garden to tend it, to cater for it, right, so that he produce from the
Mm,
fruit of the land. So naturally, we are wired to love work, and to see the fruit of it. So if you talk to a guy, he takes pride in the work that he does. When you ask him, hey, who are you? What do you do? The first thing he's going to talk about is the work he does. And if he feels like
mm,
he's invested in the work and he's proud of it, he'll talk more about it. And so you we lean more towards working and providing naturally. Okay. And this is not shameful. This is actually something we embrace. The difficulty, to answer your question, from society expectations on men as providers is when it becomes black tax too early.
mm,
What do I mean?
yeah.
So for you, Joel, I know you're not married yet. I know you are just
Soon.
launching into your career. Yeah, yeah, I'm excited for you. You're just launching into your career. You're doing great with these series that you are doing. So you are building who you are as Joel, as your reputation. There is no I don't think that expectations on you now should be that you are providing for your woman like I
Yeah.
would for my wife, right? Yes, like you
Yeah.
can take her out on a date, like send her Momo alerts every now and then just to make her smile. But the expectation on you now is to grow as Joel, to better provide when you are put in that position as a provider, as a husband, as a father.
Yeah.
And so before you get there, that expectation on you should be minimal or should not exist. Granted, sometimes in families, expect certain conditions might happen that there's extra pressure on you, and that can feel overwhelming. So what I'm going to say is, if you are in that position, you need to find a community of other men or other people that you can talk to lighten the burden, or to let you know that it's tough, but you can weather it. But naturally, men are to provide for their families. Men are placed in that position. Just the wiring, just the mental state of mind, just even like our aggressive nature towards pursuing career excellence and ambition to provide. And so, number one, let's not get it twisted. We are to provide. Number two, when we are put in a position where we feel the pressure in providing, let's find people to talk to. And that's the purpose of community. That's why I'm always highlighting community. Joel, you and I talk every now and then, but I'm sure I've told you that my doors are always open. If ever you feel like, man, this is getting tough, I know you can reach out, and it should be the same for everyone here, right? So that's
Yeah.
what I'd like to say about it. The pressure does exist. Number one, um, there's pressure because naturally this is our response to it. We are natural providers as men, or even for breadwinners. And number two, when the pressure becomes increasing, remember that there's such a thing as black tax. That means that there's over expectation on you just because you are making some money or you're a provider, and that should not be. So you are it's okay if you feel frustrated by it. One last example, I remember when my older sister, so I'm the
Mm,
second born of five kids, when my older sister started working, all of a sudden she had to send my parents money every month. And she had just started working and she was feeling burdened by it. So I told her, listen, I'm not supposed to send money. Not now. Like, you are allowed to send money when you feel like you've reached a stage where you are not financially burdened. You can send money home. But now, as you are building your life, it's actually in the Bible that it's the parents that are supposed to take care of the children and their children's children. But black tax rewires us to think that we have to take care of our parents because of all the sacrifices they did. And there's nothing wrong in honoring your parents, but the responsibility is on you to take care of your parents now.
mm,
The responsibility
mm,
is on you to grow yourself to such a level that when you take care of your parents, it's not crippling you.
yeah.
So let's end that here. I'm sure it will trigger some responses, but I'm happy
Yeah.
to answer them.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, if you're following in the comment section, I know a lot of our Achieved by Petra users and probably potential users as well have, agree with what Amishada is saying. So if you agree, put your opinions, put your thoughts in the comment section as well. And yeah, we'll definitely spotlight it at the end of the webinar. Amishada, it's interesting you mentioned your older sister and a little bit about how you grew up, right? I want to
Hmm.
find out, or we would want to find out, what are some early money habits that shaped your financial behavior today?
Oh yeah, that's this personal. Okay, so I'm sure some of you know the word chisel. I grew up in Takrady, so that was the term.
Yeah.
Say chisel. This guy is chisel. So yeah, growing up, I was under the understanding that like money is hard to get. So when you get money, you have
Mm,
to save it, right? You have to keep it. And obviously, this is shaped by what I see around me. So
yeah.
if you grew up in a middle income or like a growing family, you know that this money was hard earned. They'll tell you things like money doesn't grow on trees. So for me, every money I got, I wanted to save it so much so that I wouldn't eat when I go to school, right? Like I'll save all the
Mm,
money. And then ironically, I won't spend it on myself. I'll give it back to my mom if she needs money because like I saw how hard she was working. And
yeah.
so I spent most of my childhood and even adulthood trying to save money as much as I could. But now that I've grown up, I'm shifting that mindset. Okay, so people say it's a scarcity mindset, not all the time, right? So you can be frugal, like that means that you are being careful with money. But when you enter the realm of abundance mindset, you know that you are connected to a source that is infinite and abundant, right? So it's not the
Mm,
desperate attempt to hold on to money. It's
yeah.
actually money is like how do you call it? You are a conduit for money. So there are just
Right.
like principles about money that I'm learning now. Like as
Mm,
long as you're a conduit, money comes and goes. But if you open yourself up as a larger pipe, like if I take a small pipe, there's only so much money that can flow, right? But if there's a bigger pipe, there's more money that can flow, and naturally you'll be a byproduct of the wealth that is flowing through you. So now, like my mindset, I know I'm answering a different question, but I grew
no,
up
that's
from a chisel mindset, save all the money you can for a rainy day to now I'm a conduit for money.
mm,
I am financially astute and intelligent about my money, but money is also like
mm,
it's an exchange, right? It's an exchange for value principles, and I'm a conduit for it. So I don't. I'm trying. I'm learning not to hold on to money so much.
yeah.
I save what I can, and then I give whenever I can.
Interesting. Interesting. If you can relate with Amishada's chisel, quote unquote, chisel upbringing,
Just so.
let us know in the comment section too. Right. I think a lot of Ghanaians, grew up probably in the compound house, and that's the same upbringing that they have as well. So most of us grew up to be frugal, right? Anyway, you hinted something that I want you to expand a little bit on. For instance, you gave the example of someone not being married, and the person, probably if they have a partner or a girlfriend, they shouldn't be the one as giving that person money like monthly allowance or something. This might be controversial, right? But what
Yeah.
other what big financial mistakes do you see men commonly make today that can be easily avoided?
Oh wow. Okay. Again, I'll use my story. So both you and I were at Nest, and so uh, from Nest, right, I learned about there's like T-bills, saving in
Mm,
compound interest. But one of the things I realized is even though I knew about these things, I wasn't doing them. And I think that's
yeah.
a very typical thing about us. We can have like head knowledge about some things and not do them. So I remember I had like mutual funds, etc. I was saving them and then withdraw every time I needed money, which is
Mm,
um I guess not the best way to go about it. So I
yeah.
think not saving is one of the biggest mistakes, and
Mm,
also just not having a safety bucket. It's called what would you call this?
Emergency fund?
Emergency fund. Thank you.
No.
I think one of the most basic things that we should have anybody is an emergency fund, which is
Mm,
3 to 6 months of your
yeah.
lifestyle saved that way. So you get in there. Don't be in a hurry to buy the next flashy thing or even give
Mm,
loans or even like some things that you feel like, oh, but this is important. You can put a hold on that. So put a break on things that feel like they are urgent. Focus on your savings, especially for emergency funds,
mm,
and you can take some of those decisions. One of my favorite people is Dave Ramsey. He has something called the ABCs, the baby steps of financial freedom. Everyone should definitely check them out. And in the baby steps, the first three steps are to get out of debt, to save for a rainy day, and
mm,
save up to $1,000. Right. So just check your
yeah.
life now currently. If you don't have at least these number one, two, and three, I'll suggest
Mm.
that you work on those. Yeah.
Interesting way you put it. Put a break on things that you feel are urgent, but are probably not. Probably not. And if you're wondering the best place to create your emergency fund, it's on Achieve by Petra. We have a product
Okay, let's
called
plug in.
DigiSave, and yes, you can start investing with as little as 20 Ghana cedis. You can start your emergency fund right on Achieve by Petra app. All right, Amish. So you are also a young father. You
Yep.
have a little one, as you mentioned earlier. Um, I don't know if most of you know, Amishadai is married to Zipporah. Um, Dankwa Ofori, correct me if I'm wrong. She's also an
Correct.
industrious woman from the Money Hub, right? So
The Money Hub Show. Yeah.
exactly, Amishadai, you are balancing a lot, right? How how do you think, or how can men balance providing for their families, investing for the future at the
Mhm.
same time? Because I'm sure college funds or university funds are in the future for the little one, right? And also still
Mhm.
enjoying the present. So providing for the family, investing for the future, and still enjoying the present, life today. How are you balancing it all? What are some
Yeah.
key things that we can take away from this?
That's a good question. Okay. So I'm going to tell you practically, right, what I did. So last year, as of last year, I didn't have any money in my savings. I had to
Mm,
borrow money just to take my wife and my kid to the hospital. So when I'm giving this advice, just know that it's something that I've been through, right?
yeah.
But I was still earning money. Okay.
Mm,
So the question I had to ask myself is, how is this possible? And it was even more, I guess, insulting that I'm sure I know these principles. So how did I get to this place?
mm,
So this is how I did it, right? I've reached out first of all to a friend again from shout out to Men in Marriage Community Sydney.
mm,
Sydney and his wife have learned how to save for a rainy day, and by all intents and purposes, are doing ideally what my wife and I would want to do. So I reached out, and then we had like four Saturdays, 4 Saturday sessions on just like sorting out our money, how to manage it, and where to put the money.
mm,
So the first thing was clear all debt. Again, back to Dave Ramsey's one, two,
yeah.
three baby steps of money, right? Make sure you clear all debt. It doesn't mean that you're paying all of them at once, but it means that now every money you get, a percentage is going to go into making sure that you have paid out or paid your
Mm,
debt. Aside for the super large ones like your mortgage or like your student loans, right? But you make sure that you're paying all your debt. That means that temporarily you're going to sacrifice a lot on present pleasures, enjoyments, all
wow.
these little things that you do, to console yourself that I'm working hard, but you temporarily have to put a pause on that. So you have cleared all your debt, you have saved some money for a rainy day, and you have started saving money for investment. So till then, balance does not exist. Balance is you clearing
Mm,
your debt,
yeah.
saving the money for the rainy day, and saving for investment. So this was wow. This was radical. I told my wife
Mm,
we're probably going to have to drink Gary soakings every day. We didn't, but I just showed you like how
yeah.
how intentional I was trying to get us.
Mm,
If we're going to have to drink Gary soakings all day,
mm,
that's what we are going to do too. We have paid all debts, started
mm,
saving for a rainy day, and we have saved for investments. And so this was somewhere in this was November or October last
yeah.
year, right? We are in June 2026, and I can say that we have cleared those baby steps. So we
Wow.
paid all debts,
Mm,
we have saved for our run. Now we are at 3 months runway, and we are also
mm,
saving for investments.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. I think you brought back the principles that you mentioned earlier, right? So community also played a very key part in helping
Big
you
part.
do that, and that's I think that's really amazing, guys. If you're following as well, and probably you're in the same situation or we're in the same situation as Amishadai, tell us how you also did it. How did you balance, providing for your family, invested, and still getting some local fuel to enjoy present life? Tell us how you did it as well. So, Amish, from the principles that you said, right? It sounds like a lot
Mhm.
of budgeting went into it. You had a lot of, budget cuts, right? Or budget deficits so that you can
Sure.
free up some money for the debts that you had to pay, right? A lot of men these days don't really practice budgeting, right? Can you just highlight the key role that budgeting played in you being able to get out of that situation, the debt, that situation that you were in last November? What was the role of budgeting?
Oh, 100%. So I
Mm,
mentioned I reached out to my community. They walked us through for 4 weeks continuously how they did it. And this is one of the, I guess, changes that happened in those 4 weeks. I learned that budgeting is not just budgeting for 1 month. Okay, what do I
right.
mean? So one of the things that I used to do was, okay, I received cash for this month. Where's all the cash going to go for this month? Right? And we budgeted. Follow the budget. Don't move away from the budget. If you move away from the budget, you have committed a crime. But what they explained to us was there's such a thing as the pot system. And in
Mm,
the pot system, it's also a form of budgeting where whenever you get money, you put it in pots. So pot means there's maybe like a literal envelope or a digital wallet where you say, every money I get, a percentage is going to go into electricity bills, a percentage is going to go into utilities, a percentage is going to go
yeah.
into rent, whether or not it's time for your rent, whether or not it's time for electricity bills. And
Mm,
when you do this, there will always be money in a pot for what it's supposed to be used for. So there's money in there for feeding, there's money in there for, transportation. And
yeah.
whether or not you have money in another pot, you don't touch it if it's not for that. So supposing the money for enjoyment, right, is finished, you don't take money from any other pot for that.
Mm, yeah.
Supposing the money for transportation is finished, but you need to go somewhere, you can only take from a pot that is allowed to complement that
Mm,
for like example feeding pots for example. So
yeah.
it's like budgeting, but you are budgeting long term. And they explain this from the principle of seasons and times, right? It's like in
Mm,
Ecclesiastes, there's a time and a season for everything,
yeah.
right? So it's called a time and a season. It's not called a monthly budget. It's not called quarterly. Like these are all systems created by the world, but
Mm,
the natural flow of life is times and seasons. So there's going to be naturally a time of harvest and then time of a season of harvest and a season of planting. So when you have a lot of money, still put the percentages in the pots. And when you don't have a lot of money, still follow the same principle, but you find
mm,
out that it will balance out throughout the different
mm,
seasons. Do you
mm.
see what I'm saying? So
100%.
budgets, they're very important. It doesn't make sense for you to be financially free without budgeting. But the
Mm,
next level to budgeting is budgeting for seasons. And that means that you anticipate rainy days, you anticipate rainy weathers. When you have a lot of money, boom, let's say you got a promotion, you got a raise, you did a great job. They say, hey, Joe, well, these Achieve series that you are doing is doing great. Here's a 100% bonus for the year. You don't spread it because you got all this money. You still spread it
yeah,
across your pots, and then you see how it translates. Another thing is with budget comes you tracking your finances. And I don't
yeah,
know if Achieve has this on your apps, but for every spend you do, track it. Even if it's one CD
mm,
you spend, even if it's 50%. What does it do for you? It lets you know where your money is flowing into. That means
mm,
that when you are doing your pot system, you know where to put money. Okay, maybe I
yeah,
spend X amount of my monthly revenue on my son's feeding. Okay, now I know how much
mm,
I am putting in this pot. What percentage is supposed to go there? So it's a very painful thing to do in the beginning, but once you learn, and I think there are some basic apps for it now. Every expenditure you get, track it, and then you get to see where all your money is going to. This was something that we stopped doing, Joel, before we were in that financial situation. I knew it personally, but since I got married, my wife was like, no, I can't do Excel sheets. And so in that period where I'm trying to find what works apart from an Excel sheet, right, we stopped. And then I saw the difference. I mean, the difference was having to borrow money. But now that we are back on track, we are following the pod system, we are following tracking our expenses, and we are preparing for seasons. So I hope that answers your question.
yeah, yeah. Very insightful. Very insightful. I'm sure our audience is following along. Just to add to that, Achieve by Petra has a feature we call the goals feature, where you can put your investments in pots, right? And they're invested in
Perfect.
a save account as well. So it means that you're gaining some interest every day on that particular account. So you could have your probably your food, transportation, travel, vacation pots all on the
Ah,
Achieve Petra app. So that also helps you, stay disciplined as well. So that's amazing. And also, you can also lock your pots this time around, so you don't
ah, good.
you don't move. When you're going to spend all the money to buy KFC and what's not, you don't move money from that when it's finished, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
you can also do that. This has been really insightful. This has been really insightful. I mentioned there's this
Hmm.
misconception that I've been hearing a lot, and you see it online almost once, probably once a month. You see it just pop up
Okay.
from nowhere. Last a few, I think last month or last 2 months, is 10,000 Ghana cedis enough for survival in Accra? Some people were like yes, some people were
Hmm.
like no. A few months ago, it was 5,000 cedis. Is enough a month for
Mm,
a young single person, right? Now,
right.
how can men build wealth even if they are earning a modest or
Yeah.
quote unquote irregular income? How can they still build wealth or build a net that they can be s- proud of themselves, or they can find their necessities within that net? How can men do this? You have done it, so how can men do this? And also on
This
the
is such a great
misconception,
question. Yeah.
yeah, the
Hmm.
misconception. Please debunk it for us.
How come men build wealth? And then we'll talk
Mm.
about whether 10K in Accra is enough. Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a question I'm also finding the answer to, right? How to build
All
wealth,
right.
especially for my family. So I'm big on community again. Um, I'm speaking to this 45-year-old, and he's telling me that he's thinking about building a legacy for his family. So
Mm.
I like to have older friends. So I asked him, okay, so I'm yet to be even 40. How should I think? How's a 45-year-old thinking? And he said he's thinking like he's a 63-year-old. He's thinking about how to leave
Mm.
generational wealth. And so that triggered that question. Okay, how do I build generational wealth? And it's something I'm still pursuing, right? So no, to answer your question, I'm not there at all, but it's a journey. And number one,
Yeah.
Christian principles, like know where your source is coming from. if you know that your source is connected to the giver of life, infinite wealth, the owner of a cattle fields upon the earth, then you're coming from a place of confidence that you will always be able to tap into this wealth and this source, right? So
Yeah.
money is a very intangible spiritual thing, right? Like your disposition on whether or not you feel like you will receive money or not. And this is something that people say a lot in Ghana. So let's go back to your first question, whether 10K is enough. To some people, 10K will be enough. To others, 10K won't be enough. There are
Mhm.
people I speak to who say, yo, Ghana is hard, man. There's no money in Ghana. Then there are other people I speak to that say, yo, Ghana is so wealthy. There's so much opportunity in Ghana.
Mm.
So that the question is, which camp are you in? Are you
Yeah.
in team scarcity or are you in team wealth? And the truth is that your it's very possible that your reality might force you to be in one area or the other, especially in the scarcity mindset. But this is where faith comes in, right? Your ability to see beyond what you see around you. And so yes, to some people, 10K might not be enough. To some others, I've seen
Yeah.
someone do amazing things with just earning 5K. This guy went ahead to buy land. This guy went ahead to do things that I was earning more than him and I hadn't even done
Yeah.
just because he understood the principles. So, how do you build wealth? Whatever amount that you are making, start following number one, the ABCs of financial wealth. Make sure that you have cleared your debts, you saved, and you are starting to invest. The truth is that you won't become wealthy with salary, no matter how much
Mhm.
you're making. From when I was at Mess Joel to where I am
Mm.
now, I can tell you that I am making 10 times more than what I was making. But I still find it in every month that if I don't budget well and if I don't follow these principles, there are some months that I feel
Mm.
like I don't have any money. I'm like, what is going
Yeah.
on? There should be more money at the end of the month than when
Yeah.
there should be more money than days at the end of the month, right? But
Yeah.
there are other days where I'm comfortable, I'm breathing. So does this mean that I'm not like I'm poor, or what does it mean? It means that I'm not managing my money well. I'm not
Yeah.
following the principles of money, which is to give as much as you receive, which is to save, and which is also to be very intentional about, like how you
Mm.
use your money. Yeah, so 10K is not enough, but 10K is enough.
Wow. It all boils down to principles. It all boils down to principles. I mean, should I at this point let's take a short commercial break. Let's hear from Richie. So we'll be back. Our viewers will be back very shortly. Do not leave. We'll be back very shortly.
Sharp.
Hi, my fellow investors. Let's make investment exciting this year. In fact, let's make it a challenge. Let's see if you can save and invest up to 100K by December. Open up the Achieve by Petra app, look for 100K with Richie, and join me as we try and invest up to 100K by December, because we are all building wealth and we are building it together.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. One of the ways at Achieve by Petra we're working to gamify, some of these principles that Mr. Dice has spoken about is to introduce investment challenges, right? And simply the way it works is that it's a leaderboard where there's a target, and each and every single person in that group is working towards or investing towards a particular target. So there's a 100K with Richie, as you heard a few seconds ago. There's also one for the World Cup season. There's Team Red and Team Blue. Team. This is an interesting way to get people to stay disciplined with their finances. So for Team Red, we have people that are born between January to June, and for Team Blue, we have people born from July to December, right? So all you need to do is
Ajo,
invest.
what month were you born?
October, so I'm in Team Blue.
At in blue.
Yeah. The great thing is that Team Blue is actually leading the competition right now.
Oh,
Yeah. So if you're in Team Red born between January to June, you should join the investment challenge on the Achieve by Petra app and make your top up.
a
Anyway,
team
back
win.
to
Come on,
yes,
team
yes.
red. I'm on team red. Let's go. Let's go. Maybe
I'm
I'll
almost
join
Team Blue.
just to make you lose.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, you've shared so much. I'm sure our listeners are really following. We'll be wrapping up shortly, but I have a few questions, man. I have a few questions
Yeah.
here that are burning. That if I don't ask, I probably won't be able to sleep tonight. First
Okay,
one
let's go.
is first one is we've spoken about a lot of things, right? But I want you to summarize this. What mindset shift, right, is most important for a man trying to move from living paycheck to paycheck to building wealth? What has to change up here, in our minds to be able to do that? Because something has to change.
Oh yeah, for sure. Number one is you will earn as much as you build yourself. Okay. Now, what do
Mm,
I mean? You are only limited by the limits you have placed on yourself. And so the first thing you need to do is to increase your capacity to earn more, which is translated in your capacity to be better at whatever you are doing. That means that no matter what you are doing, you can learn and upskill yourself. And the truth is that when you upskill yourself, people will reward you for the quality of skill or the quality of work that you do. So number one, you should improve and increase yourself. That means that cutting off a lot of things, right? I found out how much time I have in a day when I did this reading the New Testament in 30 days challenge. And I was able to do it. That means that there was a lot of time in my past that I was using to either scroll or to just randomly do things. So there is time for you. Upskill yourself. One of the greatest things I did before my son was born was to take my PMP certificate, right? And right after that, I got a job working in international development. But if I didn't have the PMP, I probably would have, but the chances were higher because of that. And
yep.
that was an investment I took in myself, right? And then that has cascaded into many other opportunities. So number one, build yourself up. That means cut all the time, the additional time that you're wasting online, the additional time that
Mm,
you're using to binge watch those series. Focus on yourself, build yourself up. I can never repeat this enough. And then number two, move your mind to a mindset of abundance. So Carl S. Dweck has this book called Mindset, right? And she talks about people with scarcity mindset and abundance mindset, people with growth mindset and limited mindset.
mm,
As long as you believe that you are in a certain position and there's nothing that can be done about it, it will be true for you, right? As you have believed, so it is for you. But if you move yourself into this idea that, you know what, regardless of my circumstances and my surroundings, I am capable of earning my way out of this
yep.
bracket. I can't get out of this bracket, no matter what the reality is, right? And it's not a thing about, you're willing it to happen, okay? It's it's a thing about settling it in your heart that this is going to happen for you. For me, I'm a Christian, so it stems from my faith and my belief that
Mm,
I'm coming from a place where I'm connected to an infinite source. It's not prosperity gospel, but like based on what I've understood from my
yep.
life, every time I've been in a place of lack, I have realized that it is based on my mentality, what I feel about my
Mm,
relationship with God, how that is even going. So it's
yep.
always to go back to that source and say, hey, you know what? This is where I am. Very honest and vulnerable about my situation. So yeah, build yourself up. Number one. Number two, move your mindset to growth and abundance mindset.
Mm, mm. Well put, well put. I couldn't have put it any better than that. Amishadai, before we leave here, I want our men to leave here, or our listeners, right, to leave here, because I believe these principles are universal and
Yeah.
regardless of gender, if you apply them, it's going to work for you. What financial habits do you think that our listeners should adopt today? One habit that they should adopt today. Just give them one habit that they should adopt today for long term stability.
Oh, start using the pot system, the one I mentioned earlier. So now you're thinking
Mm,
longer term instead of just for months. And if you
right.
think longer term, it makes you focus on what's important than, like short term pleasures or short term things that you want to do.
Mm,
So start saving for a longer term. Have a long term vision of yourself. In
mm,
5 years, in 10 years, this is where I want to be. And to get there, these are the things I need to do. So these are also the sacrifices that I need to make.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. Have a long term vision of where you want to go and create a pod system, right? Amishadai, thank you so much. It's
Yeah.
been really insightful. I've learned so much. I've learned so much. Let's take a few comments, some of what our followers are saying. Okay, Stephen now from West Hill, thank you for joining. Cornelius from Insawam, thank you for joining. David from Eastern Region, thank you for joining. Oh, we had a lady. Harriet Yosin, thank you also for joining. I hope you found it engaging and very, very insightful. Cornelius says that I agree with what he says. You should build your life instead of being burdened by your parents. So that's on the black tax that Amishadai spoke about, right? So you should look to be at least stable before you can start giving back. I think that's really interesting, especially in this part of the world that we find ourselves. Okay.
Yeah.
Ifriye says that I love the new mindset of being a conduit for money. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, Amishadai, there's a question for you here. Okay, Cornelius says, what, Team Red, we are coming. Okay, Team Blue, we are not interested. Yeah. If you're not on the Achieve by Petra app, download the Achieve by Petra app and navigate to the investment challenge session and join the fun. It's really heating up. Okay, so Cornelius is also saying that how can one budget when he's earning 1,000 CDs monthly? Amishadai, over to you.
Cornelia, that's a good question. And let me be honest with you, I've been there before. Huh? I think my first job was earning 1,005, and it wasn't sustainable, not in this Accra. But the thing is about principle. So whether or not you're earning 1,000 or 10,000 or even 100,000, what is important is that you're following a principle. And the principle is that it's 10% of everything you earn is yours. I will recommend The Richest Man in Babylon to every one of the listeners. If you haven't read or listened to it, go and get it. One of the most basic books for financial freedom. And it says that 10% of everything you earn is yours. That means that when you are making 1,000, no matter what is happening, save 100 CDs. It's the principle that matters because after I can promise you this, if you don't learn to do it for 1,000 CDs, it won't change when you're making 10,000. It
Mm,
won't change when you're making 20,000. It won't change when you're making 100,000. So learn that principle. That's a percentage of everything you earn is yours. 1,000 limits how much you can save or even how much room you can wiggle around. But if you say you know what, I am worth 10% of the money I've made before the world takes all my money away with bills and black tax and everything else. Let me pay myself 10%. And it is something that you're saving, right, for your future. So, do
yep.
you really think that you're not worth 10% of the money you are earning? No, the answer is you are, right? So, pay yourself 10%, and the other 900%, the other 900 CDs will, like, they will sort themselves out. But follow that principle and let's talk a few months later. Let's see how you've done.
Mm. Gems. It's been gems on gems on gems this entire time. I hope you've learned something, Colenius, and I hope you practice that as well. Amish, someone says, well said, Amish. I think I want to end with that. Well done, Amish.
Sharp.
Well said, Amish. I believe it's been an interesting and engaging conversation talking about money and financial wellness, what it means to men. Amish Shaddai, thank you so much for your time. We
Thank
appreciate
you,
you.
Joel.
And
Mm.
also for our listeners, we have a segment called Ask Daniel, where we have our head of product answer some questions that you may have about money, about investments. So I'm putting the link in the comment section. It should be there, and you should be able to find out more. So put in your questions there, and we'll be creating video responses to them as well. Okay, I want to say thank you so much to everyone that joined. And if you're listening this on the replay, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Mr. I thank you once more, and you know how we do it. Thank you so much, our
Pleasure,
listeners.
pleasure, Joel. Thank you for having me. This was fun. Let's do it another time, huh?
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Thank you so much to our listeners for being here as well. And it's goodbye from us at Achieve by Petra. Stick with us and we'll meet you next time during our next webinar. Ciao.
Hi, my fellow investors. Let's make investments exciting this year. In fact, let's make it a challenge. Let's see if you can save and invest up to 100K by December. Open up the Achieve by Petra app, look for 100K with Richie, and join me as we try and invest up to 100K by December, because we are all building wealth and we are building it together.
It's beautiful. But how do we make it work?
I know how to make this happen. With a group feature on the Achieve by Petra app, we can invest towards this project.
They dreamed it. They planned it. They achieved it with Achieve by Petra.